Now, Dave, since you hated this so much, what was worse? The Viking Raiders segment or this?
This.
What?
How are we supposed to believe that they're talking on a video chat, but yet there's a camera shooting them in their houses? They're supposed to be on a video call, but yet we see them with a camera in each of their houses talking to showing them.
Hold up. How the Viking Raiders was worse than this, Dave. Come on now, brother.
No, it wasn't.
Thank you for
this was stupid. You like watching them act like idiots?
You like them yelling Viking Raiders and eating
What's different? What's the difference? What's the difference? They're both acting like idiots.
Look.
Oh, I get the difference. It's AEW.
No, sir. The difference is Jericho and the rest of those guys in that group have a comedy side to them.
The Viking Raiders can't have comedy side?
Dave, really?
What's wrong with... Okay, so one side can have a comedy side in them, but the other side can't.
They're the Viking Raiders, Dave. They're the Viking Raiders. They're not supposed to be a comedy act. They're not supposed to.
But the Viking Raiders aren't trying to cheer us up? But they are. Okay.
Look, Jericho, comedy. Right? Guevara, comedy. Hager, not his forte. Santana Ortiz, yes, they have that side to them. But to have the Viking Raiders, a team that has Raiders in their name, also Viking, you're gonna have them singing, doing carpool karaoke, and eating a turkey leg. That's better than what we got tonight. And
so maybe they're trying to introduce comedy to their gimmick. What's wrong with that?
Because they're fucking Viking Raiders are not supposed to be a comedy tag team. They're supposed to be
the Inner Circle is
people's heads off. They have. Come on, Dave. We've seen it since they became the Inner Circle that they have a comedy source to them. You know,
maybe that's why they're trying to add a different level to the Viking Raiders. Can we move on from this stupid topic? Jeez.
Let's move up to these chat room comments, and then we'll move on to the final segment of the show. Two more. This is better than WrestleMania, says T. Wells. You would love that comment there, Dave. Jericho is a national treasure. Rather than this, than the Viking Raiders in an Escalade, says Bobaruski. Why are they doing a tight shot on Chris Vacuum Cleaner? I don't. Viking Raiders segment. Jericho wears gloves inside. Well, hey, he's just being. He's listening to the rules, to the quarantine rules.
It's obviously they're not even talking to each other at all.
Why do you have to? Why do you have to yell so much, Cornette? Says Jeffrey Cross. Anything is better than the Viking Raiders segment. These guys are all funny people in general, except for Hager. Raiders have been serious all the time, says Bobaruski. See, kind of going with what I said. This was worse, and here's why. The boys all came up with this. The Viking Raiders just read their lines, says Lit Mantis. I think you'd agree with that there.
And they didn't tonight? There was no one talking. They read lines, too. That wasn't a shoot, bro.
No. He's saying that the Viking Raiders wouldn't have done this if they weren't told to do it. That they
the difference is one person runs a company besides inmates run the asylum in AEW.
Now, if someone like the Lucha Bros did this, it would be bad. With Inner Circle, it works. See, I agree with him on that. I agree. I feel the same way on that. T. Will says Hill Dave is so good. They've been doing this stuff since that video package segment with Virgil, says MLW. Who generated more memes, Oscar or the Inner Circle? Because both of them are comedy on either side. Ian Dunn says, Dave, once again, showing he has no sense of humor. You are such a WWE apologist that anything AEW does just sets you off. Can you ever have qualifying opinion without saying WWE?
Well, I'm a WWE apologist, yet I shit on Raw weekly, but no one fucking listens to it. They only care when I say AEW sucks. Not Raw. I said Raw fucking sucked. And yet no one says, you hate WWE, you're an AEW apologist. No. What the fuck? It's because it's saying anything bad about your precious little AEW, people get mad. But it's okay to shit on Raw because everyone else does.
I was waiting for Jericho to cut the promo on. Litman says I was agreeing with you because Jericho was arguing with his vacuum on Twitter after the Vanguard 1 promo. Oh, that's right, Raven's Blood. That is true. Good point. Jeffrey Cross says, no, Cornette, you're wrong. Dave is the bizarre Alvarez.
I'm going to quit this fucking show for that shit.
Yeah, you cannot compare Dave to Meltzer or Alvarez. Those are his enemies. Remember, he's Davey Cornette. He doesn't like those guys. Preach Dave says truth and loyalty. Noob says, Dave, you're anti-AEW. But Raw
I'm anti-Raw too.
Raw sucks every week. No redeeming qualities from that bitch. Is that what you're trying to say, Beefs, too? All right, last but not least, Dave, I will not play the MJF footage, even though it's funny. I want to spare you guys. AEW only has one show and you hate it. WWE has a broader audience and more shows. Disliking one show from WWE isn't a fair comparison, says Ian Dunn. There you go.
Okay. SmackDown hasn't been good either, but NXT to me is the best show they have.
Raw was solid on Monday night. This is my opinion. Now, I'm not going that route. I'm just stating what I felt about Raw from Monday night.
A solid piece of shit.